Welcome. Let's see what Spirit wants us to be mindful of today. Divine and Holy Spirit. Oop, already one? Wait, this one. Okay. Divine Holy Spirit, what do you want? Oh, this one. Okay. Divine Holy Spirit, what would you like us to be? This one. Okay. Let me see how many they want me to pull. 5. Okay, so 2 more. Oh, this one? Nope. Okay. This one. And 1 more. This one? No. This one. Okay. All right, let's put that to the side. And then next they wanted, this was the second deck they asked me to use, so let's pull from the second. Okay, there's one. Whoop. Wow, okay, that's a definite. Let's see how many they want. Also 5, so that was 2, so we need 3 more. Oh, this is 1. This one, so I need 1 more. This is 1, okay. Put that to the side. This is the third deck, is the Harmony deck. Let's see what they want here. This one. This one. This one. 5. Okay. Are these the other 2? This one. This one's up. So that means there's 1 more. Whoops, that's it. There we go. Okay, put this to the side and let's see how they want us to lay these out. So they asked us to pull them this way. All right. So first is the uncreated. Chaos. Autumn. Sublimation. And sun's splendor. That came out recently in one of the Tarot Tidbit Mindful Minutes. Then we have the Crone. And this was the one that came up on its own. That was in a recent reading too. Aletheia. The Underworld. The Sword. And the One. All right. And then their summation is the 9 of Winter. You should be able to see that. The Knight of Spring. The Lighthouse. How interesting. Okay, this one also came up on its own. Interesting, the colors. That's the 5 of Autumn. And then Digitalis. And you can see under here where the roots are, there's a scale. It's a butterfly and a moth. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, that feels right. Let me see. Spirit, what do you want us to be mindful of at this time? Okay. The uncreated. Deep within, you are being called by your unconscious at this time. There is a gem within you that needs to be birthed. You might not be 100% certain of what that is yet. It's rather kind of the seed of something that's going to be quite miraculous and life-changing and bring more color and life back into your life. So this is their preface. So let's just keep going and see how this ties in. So chaos. So you kind of see the trees are rather spinning here. Can you see that? It looks like they're spinning. And we have fates, the 3 fates. So this is talking about you're in a period of time where there's been a lot of chaos in your mind, your mental state, all this darkness. And from this is tying into what you are going to be creating, because you see how the gem is in not black, but it is in this blue and the rainbow. It's the colors of our unconscious mind. But this card will have to be righted for you to achieve that. Then they go in and they centered this card, the Autumnus, right? Autumn. It's interesting, it's upside down. So instead of this meaning earth, this is rather meaning fire. So we're seeing they're asking you to take the harvest of your life. Everything, here's another gem, there's a ruby here. What you have learned in your lifetime, and to act in a way to bring that into the world and root it into the world for others, for the benefit of others. And it's asking you to do that by bringing this darkness, what you've learned during this dark period, into the light, and not forgetting that connection, because those are the lessons that need to be brought into the world for others to be able to go through this period and come out and back into the light as you are doing at this time. Even if you feel like you're not 100% there, this is the time for this. Yeah, right here they brought healing, spirituality, and manifestation with these crystals. And yes, look, the sun splendor right here. It's talking about what you bring forth is going to radiate. Look at all of these gems and the flower, the rays of the energy of the sun, and the birds flying high, and the peaceful water. This is all selenite, I believe. It's completely surrounded by gems. And the gold in the middle, which goes back to this, it's the same ball. You see this gold ball here? It's right here in this tree. This is the fruit that you're bringing forward, that it's going to be a gem, and it's going to bring so much benefit to others, to yourself, but also to others. So this is their preface. So what are they going to talk about here? So they're talking about wisdom with this crone. It's holding a coin, a gold coin with the Star of David or a Merkaba, or however you interpret that symbol. So we're talking about wisdom, holding wisdom, but because it's this way and this is all darkness, and here we see light and the blue, which is coming back to the blue here. This is the wisdom that you have in your unconscious, and it's talking about the need for you to bring that forth. With this card is talking about truth and balance, obviously, which is coming right underneath chaos. So they're saying that it is through your bringing forth this wisdom for others and not denying where it came from, not separating it from the darkness in which it was born, in which this wisdom was born, because that would not be truth. That you have to bring the dark and the light together, and by doing that, that will bring balance back into your light. That will right this card, which is, again, your fate, or at least the fate of this moment in time, what they're asking you at the moment. And the underworld, I mean, you might even be having nightmares or something because things aren't sorted yet. And this is just, as I said, like a seed thought. You really haven't had time to envision the totality of it yet. And because of that, that has been causing you ungrounded, maybe toxic emotions or fears. And these worms are all going through the earth. You found, it's been unsettling for you. And you're looking up, look at all these eyes. You're looking up out of the earth. You're looking up out of here. I mean, you're underneath looking up towards the light. And this is also really interesting. What I noticed is they laid these cards, or they had me laid these cards with both of these pointing this way, and both of these have duality on them. And this is duality, right? As above, so below, so on and so forth. And this card is about cutting away things that are no longer needed, right? Or kind of this energetic umbilical cord. It's cutting away things that you might have been dependent on. You have a full moon here in this darkness. So this dark period has come to its peak. There, you don't need this anymore in your life. Although it's very hard to just kind of switch it on and off, of course. But it's telling you that what you've had to learn, what you needed to learn from this period, it's done. And you need to be able to balance the lessons with the light and the new moon, or this is like a first quarter moon, a sliver of a moon, and start bringing that into, see the color here, bringing that into consciousness for others. You see all this darkness. You've got the black, which is, you know, your negativity, and then the blue and the purple, that's your unconscious self. And then we have these colors, which are more the earth colors. So this is talking about how you're manifesting it. And the one is really interesting because it's the opposite of duality, right? So you've got duality all throughout here. And then you have the one. So this again is in this column where they're asking you to manifest this for others. And of course, this is an energy which most people in lifetime, they hear about it. It's an idea, it's a philosophy, but most people don't really ever experience it, or they might experience it in momentary moments, early in a intimate relationship, or, in an embrace with a loved one, during a very difficult time, or when you're creating, if you're an artist and you connect to the flow state. That is the one, that when these two become one. And this is what they're actually, you're not there yet. It came upside down, but they're asking you to write that, because they say you have what it takes. You have the knowledge at this time, as long as you don't become full of yourself and think you're better than others, but through what you've learned, through your wisdom, but connect to the fact that we're all human. We all have to go through this, and ultimately we all have something to share with the collective. But they're saying it's your turn to do this. It's time for you to do this, so that you can help the collective rise up out of the dark or toxic behaviors, which abound in the 21st century, unfortunately. So they're being very clear here. So we can just go to the summary. The summary is saying the 9 of winter is, of course, the culmination of a very cold period, which is what they were saying, right? This period in your life. And the snowbell, these are the very first flowers to come out in the very end of winter, early spring. And you have this sunrise. So again, it's all about talking about this creation, this seed, the very early stage of this seed. But know that you are supposed to be focusing on this at this time, to bring this wisdom up for others. And then the Knight of Spring is super focused. So they want you super focused on this right now. And again, when we're talking about spring and you see these spring flowers and you see how this is centered, this card is all about being very focused and, time management, being extremely organized, which is the exact opposite of chaos, which they're telling you you're going to get there by being honest with yourself, not acting in ways that you simply know better than others, but to admit that it came from your humanity, from you being so much like the rest of us, and to share that duality as one truth. And it's interesting how this layout came in this order, where we see, I believe it was like this before I started touching the cards, where we see this understanding talking about this very difficult time period, going straight to the lighthouse. And as you can see, there's a man or a woman. They're paddling almost backwards. The bow, or the pointed end of the boat, is facing that way for some reason. So, and they've got the flat end, which is really hard to paddle, but they're trying to paddle over this wave to the lighthouse. So yes, they're summing up and saying, yes, this has been a very difficult time for you, but you do see the light, and you have to recognize that. Don't wallow in all of this. Don't stay in all of this. Yes, it was difficult. Yes, it was. This energy is. It's overwhelming. It can make you feel and think and act in ways that are very negative, and in ways you might not have ever acted before, and you find very surprising, but yet you need to get over that to bring this light, into the world as they're asking you to do. You've just got this one last wave to overcome. It's interesting, that wave looks like that bird. You see that? Interesting. And that, yes, and that goes right into here. Look at this, the 5 of autumn. There's a mirror here, right? A mirror. They're saying you need to look at yourself and be honest and know that there are parts of you, not all of these are flowered. So they're saying, well, it's half and half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are not blooming. So they're not in the light, right? They're not bringing this fruit into the light, this wisdom. So they're saying that you're still acting in ways, be honest with yourself. You're still acting in ways that are quite negative and toxic, if not for others, then for yourself. And they say it's absolutely imperative that you become aware of this at this time and get rid of that for your highest and best good, and for the collective. And the collective can also mean, of course, this is a reading, a general reading. A collective could just be you and your immediate family, or you and your coworkers, or you and your community, right? Or it could be on a global scale. All of the above would be correct in this interpretation. And oh, look at this. So we have the digitalis, and we have, this is a flower of balance, but also toxicity. And they're saying, again, you have to become aware of both parts of yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as we say, and accept the fact that this wisdom came from a difficult time, but cut that away so that you can move forward. So you can balance these two. Not to get rid of what you learned or ignored or deny it. Don't deny where it came from. You see how we have this butterfly and a moth? And the moth is interesting because most people think of moths as darkness, right? They're not as beautiful as the butterflies. But look which one is rising up, right? Embrace your fears. Embrace them, face your fears. Look at your fears. Therein lies the answer. And spend time meditating and balancing these two parts of yours, bring them together as one. And then as you spend time contemplating, that's where the transformation is going to come. That's when you're going to be able to visualize exactly what this is. However they're asking you to bring forth this expression into the world. I mean, look at this. Look at all that. And then look at these together. My goodness. It's going to be an amazing thing. Whatever it is that you're going to bring forth and however you're going to do it is really going to help a lot of people. And remember that. And remember, it might also help people that were causing you a lot of difficulty in your life. But that's okay, because they're the ones that, although they made things difficult, they're the ones who brought you all this wisdom. And they're the ones who are really bringing you to a point in your life that no matter what's going on, you're going to be okay. You have the strength and the ability. I mean, look, with the back being flat, I mean, you know that no matter how difficult the challenge, you are going to be able to overcome it. And what a blessing that is. I mean, that really is a gift. Well, Spirit, thank you so much for such a clear reading. We always appreciate you being here to help us figure out how to move forward and to help us realize that our intuition is right, that we're hearing correctly what it is that the universe is asking us to do at this time. All right, and for everyone else, for all the viewers, I wish you a divinely guided day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.